coming through, nah, that's another god.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Winner Circle. I'm Wande, and I'm so excited for y'all to be here today because this is our very first episode. And it's super lit because it's not just going to be me. I have some amazing co-hosts who, you know, they're going to bring the fire. And so I can't wait for y'all to meet them. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? I'm Erinn.
Hey, y'all. I'm Naij.
All right, y'all. And this is our first episode. Like, how do y'all feel?
I'm super hyped because I feel like this has been a journey. So, and then I love y'all. So I think it's going to be fun for people to actually explore our relational dynamic through this podcast. So I'm excited.
We got a podcast, bro.
We got a
Like, how
podcast,
did we get
bro.
here, though? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's even super dope just because, yeah, I think for me as an artist, like, I go through life seasons, so I be drained. And so it's like, man, that's an amazing idea, but I have no energy to execute that. So,
Okay, so let's talk about that. 'Cause
Yeah.
like, I texted y'all last year. I want to say maybe around this time. And I was like, y'all.
We should start a podcast.
I was like, God gave it to me. Because I remember I was driving and I just had this like thought that we should do like Red Table Talks, but Christian girls.
Mm-hmm.
But our version of Christian girls, not, you know what I'm saying? Not like.
cookie cutter, you know.
I won't even say cookie cutter, but like, I don't know what the expectation is, but I think that a lot of times when people meet us, they're like, oh, y'all are saved and y'all are lit. And it's like, yeah, what is... I feel like that's synonymous.
Like, what else am I supposed to be?
Correct. So I was like, y'all, we should do this because, again, I love y'all. I feel like our dynamic is super unique. But I guess because people may not know who we are, we should kind of talk about why we were all, I guess, in a group chat texting. So
Yeah. So I'm Wande, and I'm a musical artist. I do Christian rap. You know, I love Jesus and I love the music. But beyond that, you know, I just enjoy like executing in excellence in all areas. So that led us to all end up meeting each other because, you know, through conversations in life, ironically through our producer's house, actually, I met Erinn. Well, I already knew Erinn, but Erinn happened to be there at like a birthday party. We were chopping it up. And that kind of entered that
is
season.
that how we met?
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's actually why. I don't remember that.
Yeah, and so
Whoa.
that's like our rekindling. So
I do.
yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yo,
Yeah.
Mia, we were at your house.
Yeah.
That's,
Wow.
oh my goodness.
Because that
Full
just brings
circle.
another
This is
level
really,
of, like,
that's what I'm saying. What?
blessedness to this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so over there we're just having life talks. He was asking me how I was doing in life, and then I was like, yeah, man, like this artist thing is cool, but I'm trying to figure out this one situation. And Erinn was really caring, so she was just like, nah, I can't just have you out here about to like go through an album cycle like by yourself, like
Especially as a black woman,
Yeah.
you were freshly signed. You were transitioning from your management. I am a manager. I had several artists that I was managing at the time. That's why I was just like checking on you. Not even, I wasn't even trying to like snipe you, you know, like, cause some managers be out here on the prowl. And I was like, yeah, like, what's up? And then you were like, da-da-da. I'm like, well, let me just help you. Like, no pressure, but let me help you get through this moment. And you were so open and receptive. So yeah. So then I started managing you.
Yeah, so then that was a beautiful experience. The album cycle went well. We went through the pandemic, but God still provided, so which is rare. So we went up.
Not rare that God provides.
No, yeah. So God always provides, but we went up in the pandemic when the expectation was to go down, and fear could have definitely crept in, but things were good. We solidified our relationship. Then along the way, also shout out social media. I met Naij. Yep. We bonded over some creativity, you know, shout out to the Crickets, you know, the Cricket machines. You know, if y'all want to sponsor us, let us know.
You know what I'm saying?
So
send us some vinyl packs.
Yeah, so
Vinyl cutting machine.
yeah, it's a vinyl cutting customizer. So
Oh, vinyl for like shirts.
Yeah.
I'm thinking vinyl's like the records hurt.
yeah,
My
I used to
bad.
always say vinyl, but you know, it's
Yeah,
all good.
Yeah, I had to correct that. You know what I'm saying?
I
had
told
to,
her, she's like, vinyl or vinyl? I'm like, it's clearly
it's
vinyl.
vinyl, bro.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But that's how we ended up bonding, you know, pulling up to Hobby Lobby, having fun.
I need to expound on that story.
Yeah.
I was
real
about
quick.
to say,
Yeah.
you're making this like super
nah, bro,
Wande.
because it ain't that bland. You feel
I'll
me?
say
Let
it's
me add a
giving
little
dry.
spice to it. Let me add a little Tony Sashries real quick.
Oh, that's what makes spice.
Because like
Oh.
First of all, because it was the pandemic, you know what I'm saying, and everybody was going through it, we all needed a little come up, you feel me? Wande was selling consultations on social media. And I'm just scrolling through one day, and I'm like, okay, cool, that sounds dope. And I minded my business after that. Next thing you know, the Lord is like, hey, I'm going to need you to buy a consultation. And I was like, nah, you bugging, bro. I don't got no money. The only money that I had was on my business credit card. My business credit card, y'all, not personal. Business, okay? And it was the exact amount that it cost to do a consultation with Wande. And so God was like, do it. And I was like, no. And he was like, do it. And I was like, no. And he was like, do it. And I was like, all right, bet. And then I did it. And then we became friends after that. And we ended up going on a trip to Hobby Lobby. And then next thing you know, like, we just start spending time together. She starts inviting me over into meetings and, you know, just like hanging out at the crib. I'm leaving my job to hang out at the crib.
It was
no
a mess,
money
y'all.
coming to my pocket, bro. I said, all right, I'm clocking in and I'm walking out because I was working from home. And I treated that job very badly. But I've been forgiven for that. You know what I'm saying? The Lord he's kind. But yeah, and then we just, you know, grew from there. So
I
kinda
told
wild.
Wande to watch out. I was like, you do not need to be bringing fans around you. I was like,
wasn't even a fan though.
okay,
That's the
but
thing.
I didn't.
But
Ooh,
yeah.
rude. I
I
didn't
mean,
know.
like, I loved her music, but I wasn't like a fangirl.
But I know. But I didn't know that. So like,
Yeah.
when she was like, yeah, I did a consultation. This chick is gonna pull up to, because it was the Woo video. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that first time I met you was on the Woo video shoot. She was like, yeah, I had somebody who booked a consultation, and she's gonna pull up and help assist me during the video. And I was like, Wande, you do not need to be having fans pull. She's like, no, it's lit. We hung out together. We're cool, whatever. And I'm like, no. And Wande's such a sweet, like, loving person. And I was like, this is weird. But then I met Naij, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I love Naij.
And
I understood it. And so now this is where we're at.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
we're
Now
friends.
we in the winner circle.
There's deeper things, but basically, once Wande hired Naij as her assistant, I was like, I know I'm gonna train her to be her day-to-day manager. And within a year, that became that. I named our group chat the Winner Circle. And then when I thought about the podcast and I talked to the Lord, I was like, yo, we need to do a podcast. Let's call it the Winner Circle.
Yeah.
So I do have a question for y'all. This one, don't do me, Naij, because y'all know I'm always asking questions. And I think that I thought about this as like a podcast in and of itself, but I felt like we might as well bring it here. And y'all know I'm like the feelings person. I think that I want to preface this before I tell y'all. I think that a lot of times people see snapshots of like people on the internet or in life, and their assumption is like, oh, their life must be like this or like that, whatever. So I want to ask y'all 2 questions because I think that this would like summate your experience. But I want to get to know y'all a little bit better. I pray that through this process, we really do get to know each other better and not like take our relationships for granted. But if I could ask what it's like to be you, the 2 questions I would ask, I want y'all to, whoever wants to answer first, is the first question is, what's the best thing about being you, Wande?
I mean, do you want to do everything in one or just?
No, like just like one, if you could say, I think this is the best thing about being me. You know, like I'll even give you for myself. I think the best thing about being me is how much I care. It's also one of the hardest things about being me, but I am so full. I want to cry right now. Wow. I just like love people. And I know that that's so rare. Like some people like people, but most people don't even like people, but I love people. And I think the best part about me is what fills me up so much is because I love people so deeply. And I think that care is what informs everything that I do in life. It informs all the things that I do. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like an indication of my heart. So like, if you could think of one thing about you, what is your favorite thing, the best part about you?
Yeah, I think for me, probably getting to experience what it's like trusting God, per se. So I would say, like, in the midst of God telling you something and you holding on to that, there's a lot of obstacles that come your way. And sometimes you're like, man, is this true? Is it cap? I keep watching these interviews. People keep saying, hold on, and it's gonna work out. It's a cap. But I would say, like, being able to, like, actually experience, like, oh, snap, like, it's true. Dreams do come true. But stuff like that, like, I feel like it's one of the best parts of being me because, yeah, I look back at life and I'm like, dang, man, I'm kind of grateful. Like, this is crazy. Like, even the fact that I was able to go on vacation, like, 2 weeks ago or whatever, and, like, be on a cruise casually in the middle of the week, like, just because I felt like it and I was tired. You know?
Your husband.
With my husband, yeah.
Nah, that's good because God really do be showing out for real.
Yeah, he was going hard. So
and I've seen the way that you trust, which that's really a testament to you. You definitely have a for real trusting God.
Yeah.
Like Wande is the kind of person where, like, it could be the craziest thing, but she'll be like, God can do it.
No cap.
And so nonchalantly at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and everybody else will be like, I mean, I believe it, but I don't know. Like, and Wanda would be like, nah, he got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's beautiful, bro. Like, I think that's a great thing about you.
Yeah, that's real. Naij, for you?
I feel like the best thing about me is my servant's heart.
That's true.
I love serving people. I love serving in all the capacities of work and things that I do. And so it's a blessing, being a blessing to other people, because I've been the opposite end, and I've even seen, you know, regardless of whether I'm being the one that's receiving this or whether I'm witnessing it myself, but I've seen people be treated very, very poorly. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it makes my heart sad. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And so, like, I'm blessed that God gave me a heart to want to do well by people and make sure that people are taken care of and love on people correctly and, you know, everything like that, while also maintaining good and high standards. You feel me? Because I do have a servant's heart, but don't get it twisted. You're not finna walk all over me.
That's that jersey.
You feel me? That's that jersey. In case you ain't know, I'm from the 856. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I love the fact that I have a servant's heart. Like, honestly, it brings me tears of joy because I've seen it bless people's lives in multitudes of ways where in my mind, I'm just like, I'm just being me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But on the other end, somebody is being blessed beyond measure, and they see God through that. Yeah. And that's all I could ever ask for. You feel me?
And we're definitely benefactors of that. Oh. Like, Wande and I's life is better because of you, for sure.
No cap.
But seeing the way I see you serve Wande in ways that just encourages me so much. And I think my relationship with you is stronger because I have such a high value for the things that you do, again, because I care. Yeah. And because I care so much, I notice things that other people don't notice, and I'm attuned to things that, you know what I'm saying? So it's I am blessed by the way that you serve her, but you're the same to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are Wande's management team, but I feel, I don't know, it's just like we feel a lot more like, we feel like a team. Yeah. But it feels like family because we've gone through some hard stuff together.
Ups and downs.
But we all really get along well. So I don't know, it's a blessing. And I think it's super cool what we all highlighted. I didn't know what I was even going to say. Yeah. I got the question for y'all. I'm like, I guess the best part of me is this. But I think that this is like what draws us together. Yeah. The way Wande trusts the Lord encourages me and causes us to believe, and like even the way we set goals is so bold. And because I care, I'm like looking to nurture that trust that she has, that faith that she has. And then you come along and you're like, how we gonna get this done? Y'all okay? Let's do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you like nurture. So it's just like the Lord was so instrumental in putting us together, I know. Yeah. And the fact that we are 3 women who function very differently, but our lives work so well together is divine design, and I'm just super grateful. That's why we're the winner circle. Duh. Okay. Duh. Second question, because I know we got to keep this moving, but I want to hear this. What is the hardest part about being you? This is one thing that I think that people, again, the best part is kind of like, how do you see yourself? But the hardest part is like things that most people don't know or wouldn't assume. I'll lead out. I think the hardest part about being me, it is probably how much I care, and because of that, I get abused so much. You know, I've had, I just have dealt with, and it's fresh right now because I'm like in the midst of getting out of just some really hard situations, even business wise, you know what I'm saying? But I think that because I can't separate my heart from my brain, I enter into situations looking to help and heal people. And that's a place that I have to surrender because I can't save people. Yeah. And that's so hard for me. And it used to be just interpersonal, and then it turned into a business mission, you know, and then it turned into, so it's like my life's mission is to be a bridge builder, but I feel like I'm always, like my bridge is always being sunk, you know? So I don't know, I think the hardest part and the best part about me is the amount of care that I have. And I didn't even think about that's crazy. Yeah. But Wande or Naij, what do you guys feel like the hardest part?
I think I would say for me, it's just the hardest part is my exposure to people. So it's like a beautiful gift, but I've noticed over time, like how we talked about the best part was like, oh, I have so much faith. But I noticed my mass exposure to opinions constantly, like has like deteriorated parts of my humanity. And yeah, it's kind of sad because like I observe myself and like, I'm like, dang, I'm not the same person I used to be. Like, and it's kind of sad sometimes. I'm like, I feel like the amount of faith I even have now, like I'm rebuilding it. And like, I feel like I'm rebuilding myself as a person. And like, yeah, I just feel like it's sad. I just feel like I'm not as risk taking as I used to be, or like, I feel like it's even like developed like anxiety in me. And like, I used to not have anxiety. I used to be like, oh, we're going to do this, like turn up. But I feel like now, like I'm extremely cautious as a person. Like even in the studio, like yesterday I was crying, like in my session, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be crying right now. But like, yeah, I don't know why. Like, people just stress me out. And so, like, I've noticed, like, I've had to just rebuild almost, like, a confidence aspect in, like, who I am and, like, executing, like, what I do. And so it's great because, you know, I love, like, having a whole bunch of fans. I love being able to execute at a high level. But then it's crazy because, like, all the things that you hear, like, rappers saying songs, I'm like, dang, this stuff is kind of true. So
how can we help with that?
How can you help? I think just prayer, honestly. I just been, like, looking at myself, too, because I was just like, man, like, yeah, I've been looking at, like, I've been trying to figure out, like, the core issue with things, and I feel like it's really just, like, it's, like, an internal thing. It's, like, learning to, it's really just, like, a confidence thing, honestly. Like, it's really, like, confidence comes from within. We talk about win within. But I feel like it really comes from within and, like, just really trusting, like, God is the only voice that matters, so it doesn't matter what other people think.
But you got thousands and thousands of people talking to you, so like I know that's like hard.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a journey. So I would just say the hardest part too is just like executing at a high level, and I think it's like also balancing what you like versus like what's commercially viable, and even marrying those two, because sometimes what you like may not be what performs the best, or what you dislike might perform a lot, and then it's like, well, do you want to pay your bills? Do you not want to pay your bills? So I feel like even that, like, that's been a thing I've been trying to marry, like, with my humanity as well. And so, I don't know. It's a journey, though. But I've been talking to God about it, and we're going to see.
I'm going to be praying for that, because I hate that for you.
Yeah, and shout out to you, E, for even asking, you know, how we can help. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I feel like I don't want you. I can't control. You're only going to get bigger. That's a part of your calling. But I'm like, if we can be on the lookout for something and even, like, shield you from some of that, I would, you know, like,
I think the hardest part about me is large spurts of self-doubt that I get, which largely comes from my battles with anxiety and depression. I have large goals and large plans that God has put on my life, and I always feel so small compared to them. So I'm always like, there's no way that I can do that. Even with something as simple as starting my sunglasses company has been like, nah, bro, like, there's no way I can do this. Like, I actually,
and
like,
then sold out.
and then sold out, you know, shout out to the
Day
Lord.
one.
But, you know, like, Wande saw that firsthand because I hit her directly, like, with some of my doubts and concerns and everything. My poor boyfriend, oh my gosh, bless you. I love you, but he has also gotten that firsthand, and it's just crazy to think that, like, I am such a strong human being, and I sometimes cannot even see that. I can't even see my full potential, and that's hard. That's one of the hardest parts about me, because I know that I'm destined, and I know that I am able to create amazing things and do the things that God has called me to be, or has called me to do. And, you know, I get in my own way sometimes.
I think that's part of the bigness, though. Like, if you could comprehend it, then you wouldn't need him, right?
That's true.
But also, it's like, as big as you swell, his purpose is even bigger for you. So, like, I feel you on that, because I feel like it should scare you.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't want you to doubt yourself, right?
Thanks.
But I also am just letting you know it's never going to be bite-sized. It's never going to be comfortable enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It should never be that way. So, like, I just want to encourage you. One, you a bad bitch.
You know
And you gonna do it, but for real, like, I want to encourage you that part is probably never going to get easier.
Yeah.
Because as you grow, he's going to continue to expand
For sure.
what he's calling. Like, he's giving you a big vision now, but you would be shook if he gave you the full thing. So it's like, you got to grow to that one point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you got
For
it.
sure. Yeah.
You got it, shorty.
You feel me?
Period.
Okay, so Wande, I feel like I'm gonna pass it back to you. I've been talking a lot.
See, the thing about me is I'm kind of blind. So I can't assist you in that department right now.
I got you. Okay, y'all, shout out to our producer,
crying.
Mia.
Oh
Mia is such a phenomenal producer.
Yeah,
I
I
am
looked and
done
I was
for.
like, dang, this gonna be like,
Okay, so just like, because y'all, we're talking to each other, but we're talking to y'all. Mia's an incredible producer. And
Yes.
She has different things we're supposed to move on to.
Yo, this is just us. Like, we can't help but to just be real. Like, at this point,
Yeah.
it just is what it is.
So
Like,
we're supposed to talk about something else, but she wrote it on a little paddle for us to see. But Wande
Wande
don't have
can't
her
see.
glasses on. So yeah. Okay. So look, she just sitting over there, so cute. Like, yeah.
like, you know, it is what it is. It's all good.
I love it here. Okay, so the name of our podcast is Winner Circle. This is supposed to be an introduction, and it's about us. But what does winning mean to us is what is like supposed to really matter right here.
Yeah.
So like, I guess that's something that we need to define too, because I feel like this is a defining episode where people are
Yeah.
kind of getting to know us. So it's
Yeah.
like, what does winning mean? Like, I know everybody sees like LeBron James or Serena Williams. Shout out to our sis. But like, what does winning mean to you, Wande? And then maybe if you even want to like bring some clarity to that word, because winner circle. So you're the W person. I guess you should talk about winning first, because like I named it because that's the ethos that you've always brought to the team.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
yeah. I think for me, I just observed, like, I experienced the most joy, and my definition of winning whenever I'm like fully aligned with like what God's called me to do.
You're so holy.
Oh my gosh. But whenever I'm fully aligned with what God's called me to do, and whenever I can like lead people to like elevate and seek him. And I have a specific example as to why I feel that way too, because we recently went on tour last year, and I remember,
flex.
yeah, it was lit though, but it was a 2-story stage, right? And I started my song singing In Love, and it was like thousands of people, and then they up here.
Subtle flex.
But it was crazy because my first lyric was, you know, Wande got that heat, which is lit. I like turning up. But I noticed that I actually didn't like that being the first lyric, because it felt like I can understand Kanye now when Kanye's like, I felt like a god, because you literally have thousands of people and they're like, Wande, yeah. And then like there's a temptation to like absorb it. Like how the Bible talks about how the devil brought Jesus to the top of the mountain. He was like, I can give you all this. Just let me know. Just give up Jesus or give up God, you know? And I saw in that moment, I was like, I don't like this. I don't want this to be absorbed.
You really are holy.
No,
Bless you.
but yeah, I was just like, I really wanted to be about Jesus. I was so excited once we got to the love part. Like, yeah, you're my king. Sing about Jesus. Don't sing about me. And so, I think that moment helped me see, like, I really want stuff reflected off. I don't want it absorbed. And just even music. Like, I love people who execute really well, but like execute well at the same time reflecting things back to God. I feel like that's like my definition of winning. And like my favorite Bible verse is Matthew 6:33, which says, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and everything else will follow. So I'm in my happiness, and I feel like I'm walking in my calling the most whenever I'm just like focused on God, focused on doing what He told me to do, and then everything else is just popping off. Like, but it's not popping off because I was focused on being the best, killing it. It was just like I was focused on being the best version of me and who God created me to be, and He just made everything else pop off as a result.
Nah, that's good. Yeah. I think like the word winning throws people off a lot because they feel like it's really self-absorbed, but it's not. And it's not because, so basically like a lot of people see the word winning and they're like, oh, you're like will relate it to like issues of selfishness and, you know, being lacking in humility and things of that nature.
I see. Okay.
But it's like, nah, I'm winning because of the life that God has allowed me to live, and the fact that He even brought His Son to die for us and be elevated and experience excellence in a lot of different areas of our life. Like, we were called to win off rip. Like, as soon as our Savior died for our sins, we were already set up in a position to be able to win in different areas. But I think
why
for
He
me,
equates it to a race.
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, yo, run with endurance.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's like, because there's a winner.
Yeah, because there is a winner. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
For sure.
But I don't know. I feel like for me, like winning for me in particular just means like doing what I can do with what I have and knowing that I'm operating to my best ability. And I say that because, like, you know, God has put me in a position to have all the tools necessary to execute a lot of the projects that He's, you know, allowed me to be a part of, this, that, and the third. But because I operate at such a high standard and then also battle with, like, you know, those issues of doubt and anxiety and things like that, I have degraded what winning looks like to me time after time again, because of those negative thoughts that the enemy would try to, like, you know, put in my head and everything like that. So I had to redefine what winning looked like for me. And so as I, you know, kind of have grown from that and healed from that, and as I am growing and healing, because it's a journey, y'all, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So now winning for me looks like doing exactly what I can with what God has given me, at the best of my ability. Y'all trying to make a thug cry up in this thing.
I have sucked tears back already twice, so I feel you.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's like, y'all don't, like, I have had to make things shake with little to nothing, and that's a win for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody else was given a lot of the scenarios and things that I've been put through, they would not, I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10, they would not look at that situation and that scenario and say, I can win out of this. They're going to look at that and be like, I'm failing. I'm losing. My car got repossessed and I went on tour.
Yeah. Different.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what? Doing what I can. Like, y'all. Yeah, so winning to me just looks like doing everything that I absolutely can with the resources that God has given me, because those resources are directly from Him, and that's already a win.
Yeah.
So
I think for me, winning, I think that I'm re-examining. It's ever evolving. I grew up playing sports, and so I don't know. I think I'm just naturally a super competitive person, but I've never seen myself in competition with other people because y'all aren't me. I'm not y'all, you know. And so I think that winning for me looked like hitting all the benchmarks when I was younger. Like, did I make honor roll, whatever? So then it was like when I got older, I'm like, I'm going to be in Forbes. I'm going to be a mogul. I'm going to, you know. And then I think once I hit a certain level of my career, probably like 2019, I was like, I do not want to be a mogul. Because I was like, this is already too much, and it's going to take even more, you know. And so my decision was like, winning for me is just being happy, you know. And happy for me looks like being able to go to a restaurant and order anything that I want. And having a wealth of people around me who understand me and who care about me, and being able to go to therapy, and living in my favorite city and having a front porch. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like things like that, like for me, that's winning. So right now, the reason that I feel like winning is being redefined for me is because financially, I've just been having so many hardships, which is what the abuse part was kind of hitting on, because just my career, there's been a lot of like misuse and abuse, and a lot of like, you know, we'll talk about it eventually, but I was dealing with some like legal issues on and off for the last 6 and 7 months. I've lost a lot of contracts or gave up some contracts. Anyways, so for me right now, the financial piece would have been the last piece to be like, I'm winning. And I think right now I'm being called to a place of really saying like, what is it that I really want? You know what I'm saying? Like, and what is it that makes you happy? If you have everything aside from the money, this is what I tell people. I'm like, I have everything but the type of money I want and a husband, right? Those are the only two things that I feel like I'm missing, so I have to say I'm winning.
Yeah.
Like, I can't let this hold me down because I have such a robust community, y'all being a part of it, right? But I have so many people who are so caring and concerned about my well-being and who understand me. I'm such a complex, unique individual, and I don't feel like I have to explain myself every day, which is such a, like, a lot of people don't have that. I'm so grateful for the people I have around me. I have a phenomenal church family. I have, I don't know, I have really cool shoes.
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
That makes me happy, yo. I have, I know myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I know myself. And I have the most incredible therapist on the face of the planet. That woman has changed my life. We'll be together for 3 years in July, and I have nothing but gratitude for that. I have like a really healthy and growing relationship with the Lord, and I have this understanding of His grace in my life right now that I don't think I would have had I not had to go through so many of the hardships. And I hate them. Like, life is the ghetto right now. I would say an explicative, but I'm trying to keep it
a little
PG.
holy.
I mean, it's still holy. I think I'm sanctified, but I don't know. I'm winning right now in life because every day I'm waking up and choosing to keep moving forward.
That's good.
And because I have such an incredible amount of support and love and peace. Even, okay, like, I have a massage therapist that I go to sometimes, and like, she knows my body so well. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, that's a blessing. Because she really be like, I feel loved by the attentiveness. She'll text me and be like, how's this feeling? Da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I know I'm ranting about this, but I'm winning right now in life because I'm choosing to be grateful for the things that I have, and it's encouraging me.
That's fine.
You know, so, yeah.
So, in the season of winning, I think it would be really dope if we shared some words to win by. And
pause. In this season of winning, I like how you put that, because the season, like, the win for me right now is different.
It's different.
It's not. It's
winning
not
is
even
always
like,
gonna look different for you.
That's good.
Like,
this is a unique season of winning. Thank you, Naij.
You know what I'm saying?
That just like testified to me.
Period. Shout out to the Lord.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in this season of winning, like, I think it would be really dope if we shared some words to win by, and it's interesting, that you were speaking about hardships.
Yeah.
When you were talking about what it means for you to win. because for me, just a word to win by that encourages me often is like understanding that we live in a world where hardships are really prevalent and we have influences everywhere, whether it be in culture or just negative spirits that are just roaming around. Life gets harder. Life gets hard.
It be lifing.
But one thing that kind of always brings me back is remembering that God is always on the porch of my life, and like he is never leaving. So no matter what may feel like is bringing distance between me and my Savior, regardless, like, you know, if it's a situation or if it's a person or if it's, you know, a personal kind of like, you know, situation that I'm dealing with, like emotionally or something like that, whatever is feeling like it's spreading me further away from my Father, I know that he's always right there on the porch of my life. So that's just a little word that, you know, I just wanted to share to win by, because for me, never being apart from him is a win. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good, because I don't know. I feel like you said, life be lifing. And I told somebody this the other day, I'm like, I don't understand how I could have hope outside. Like if I didn't have a relationship with the being that created me, I don't know what would be giving me hope.
Yeah.
Like, and even with him, we be feuding. I'm like, Big G, let's fight. Please run me my Jacob right now, because I need to feel something.
Hi, Jacob.
You know what I'm saying? I need to feel something, because I be mad. Because, and not at him. Not at him. I know that like life is hard for everybody, but I'm like, if you here, at least let me, come on, let's tussle. So, I don't know. That was good. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, the hardship is gonna be here, but I wouldn't have any type of, I don't know, I wouldn't be grounded. I don't know what, like, there's a center of gravity that's pulling me back to being like, this is only temporary.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not just that life it's not just, oh, because I'm going to go to heaven. It's like, because I have a good Father who cares so much about me that he's not going to just keep letting me deal with this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. He on the porch.
Yeah. I
He
think
in the neighborhood.
I think for me, if I was to think of some words to win by, I think for me it's been lately just keep showing up.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
I feel like that helps in so many areas of life.
Yes.
Like, for instance, anxiety, right? If you
Yeah.
afraid to pull up somewhere, there's been times I've been afraid to pull up to church, but it doesn't make any sense. But I have. It's just been stressing.
I lived through
feel
that.
that.
So
Right.
Yeah.
I lived through
I
that
feel
for like
that.
a year and a
Yeah,
half.
and
for
it's like
real.
it's stressing me out. But then I show up and I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
All you gotta do
It
is
was
show
fine.
up.
Like when you show up, then you realize, oh, it's not as crazy. Like whatever you were thinking about or overthinking, like wasn't that bad. Or even just different things like hobbies I like dance class. I show up and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I love dancing. Why didn't I show up? Or even a person, it's like, oh, I love this person. Like why was I stressing out about this? So I would say like whenever you show up, then you make progress to keep going forward. That even helps with like your career in general too. Like sometimes I be tired and I don't feel like doing it, but I show up and then all of a sudden, you know, you got 5% more work done. Or even I show up and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you got a whole song done. Like you wouldn't have known if you didn't pull up because you were tired, you know?
Right.
So I think for me, like the motto of just keep showing up, it just helps you build motivation, helps you build joy, helps you build just getting better and becoming that better version of yourself each day.
Word. That's what's up.
For me, I would say the opportunity meets you when you go get it. I think, in this season, there's been so many things trying to stop me. And so many things and people. Let's keep it a buck. And there's people who are directly trying to stop me, and then there's people indirectly trying to stop me, right? So the way that I have been so discouraged, like, and just consistently discouraged, I was telling Brandon, my business partner, maybe like a couple months ago, because I've been really struggling with motivation. I've been like, yo, I don't even have the desire to like chase anymore. Like, I don't want to go create another opportunity. I don't want to go like pitch another client or try another party idea or create a new festival.
I feel that to my core.
You know, like somebody was trying to encourage me, and they were like, well, you could just do it again. I'm like, I don't want to do it again. I've done it multiple times, and I'm not seeing the fruit of my labor, not because my idea didn't work, but because it was so successful, it was stolen from me, right? Multiple things, right? So watching the things that I built succeed has taken my motivation from me in a way that even when I was building things and they weren't succeeding, I was like, I'm just gonna try something new, right? Because that was exciting to me. Watching the thing that you created succeed without you being part of it anymore is devastating. And so I've just lacked the motivation to try and to create. And I started doubting that the future had wins for me because I was so demotivated and so devastated and so frustrated. And as I've walked through this last 8 months of my life, I've been like, come on, Erinn, if you just show up, go to the opportunity that you believe that you want, and the opportunity is gonna meet you. And I even think that this is an example of that.
This morning
we came up with this ages ago, and there's been so many obstacles to get here. Ages ago, a year ago. So a year ago, and then we were like, okay, but who's gonna produce it? Because I don't want to wear the producer and the talent hat. Where are we gonna shoot it? Where are we gonna get the money? And it was like, okay. And then Wande was like, I'm kind of overdone right now. I got a lot going on. Let's shelf it. And I was like, okay. And I just kept praying, and I kept bringing it back up, like, we need to do this thing. And then it was like, okay. So I just started praying about it and working on it, even outside of y'all, right? And then Reach suddenly got a studio, and they were like, we're gonna start podcasting. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so it's like, hey, can we use the podcast studio? And they're like, yeah, Wande sign here, sure. And then I talked to Mia. I'm like, Mia, I don't know why I never thought about you, but could you produce this? And she's like, oh my God, I love, you know what I'm saying? So then it was just like, as I walked, the opportunity. So this is a year in the making, and we're here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I could give 100 examples of that, but I know that like discouragement tries to be like cement. It tries to like keep your feet stuck where you're at. But it's like, if you walk towards the opportunity that you want, is gonna meet you. So that's my words to win by right now.
Amen.
That was good, E.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so I guess this is like how we're gonna conclude.
Yo,
I don't know how to make this
we
smooth.
did an episode,
No cap.
y'all.
I don't know
That's
how we're
crazy.
There's no way to make this smooth. Sorry, y'all. We have topics we're trying to hit.
We gotta bring y'all the content.
Yeah.
No cap.
The heat.
The Holy Girl highlight is, we want to highlight, and the more y'all get to know us, the more y'all are gonna see we're non-traditional humans and very.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, let me not preface this. It's like when people are like, I'm weird. And it's like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, that joke is so annoying. Like, I'm so eclectic. Like, okay. So let me not even preface it. But what we want to do is just highlight holy girls that we really rock with.
Yeah.
And today I want to highlight Teyana Taylor.
Auntie.
I love her. I've been a fan of her since she was a child. Literally.
Since Sweet 16, baby.
Real ones know.
Okay.
But we want to highlight women who really encourage us. And Teyana Taylor is one of my favorite people to follow.
Yeah.
I feel like eventually we'll meet her. I'm going to meet her. I think we're going to be homies because I really rock with her energy. See, I almost just slipped right there. Lord, keep us. I'm trying not to curse y'all. But she was doing this interview with Angie Martinez, and she was just talking about her relationship with the Lord and just like how that's anchored her. And I don't know, I feel like I tweeted this when her new movie came out, because I went to the premiere. or not the premiere, but they had a premiere here in Atlanta in some theaters, and I got invited to it. And I watched it, and I haven't been touched by a movie like this probably in years. I don't know if I've ever experienced this. The movie ended, and I could not get up from my seat. I was like, even just thinking about it, I have so much emotion. And she's just such a phenomenal human being. And I tweeted, like, buckle up, T, like, the world is about to see your greatness, right? Like, because she's such a phenomenal person. And she was just talking about all of the hardship she's gone through, the assumptions people have made about her, the hurt that she's experienced, the love and the care that she's growing in for herself, and all these things. And as she talked about how she's anchored, I just saw, like, almost like a Joseph anointing on her, like, where it's like, like Joseph was like the one, and then he had to go through all this hardship till he got to be the one. And I feel like that's about to be Tiana, and she's been the one to a lot of us, right? Auntie has been the one to a lot of us, but she's about to be that in the world. So Tiana, we love you.
For sure.
I'm praying for you. I really be praying for people I don't know like that, but I'm praying for you. I can't wait for people to be impacted by you the way that you have impacted my life. And I'm so encouraged by your journey and your authenticity as a human. So shout out to the holy girl, Tiana Taylor.
For real.
We all love you. I'm excited for you to win for real, for real.
Yes.
All right, Wande, wrap us up. Say something beautiful. Tie it all in.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that wraps up our first episode of The Winner's Circle.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you already saw from the sauce. You already know what's going on. You already see our personalities.
You already know.
You feel me?
You already know.
Nah, but I hope that you enjoyed yourself. I hope that you were able to gather some nuggets from what we had to share. I hope that you're able to see us in a different light, have a little bit more depth to the surface that you may see online. But I pray for all of y'all that y'all have an amazing day and an amazing blessed day. And y'all even just truly look within yourselves and see what your definition of what it looks like to win looks like. But we love you so much, and signing off from The Winner's Circle.
Yo, I think you should just pray for people real quick. Just
Yeah,
pray
yeah,
them
we
out.
do a little prayer.
Yeah. You be praying for people on your Twitch channel, and it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
encourages me. So.
Yeah. All right, we're going to end today in some prayer, all right? So let's go. Father God, thank you so much for bringing us here today and allowing us this awesome opportunity to have a podcast. I pray for everybody who's listening. Father, I pray that you just bless their life, and I pray that you open their eyes to what it looks like to win for their individual life stories, Lord. I pray that you open their minds and open their hearts to what you're calling them to do, where you're leading them to go. I pray that if they want to start a relationship with you, Lord, they can begin that today, right now. And I just pray that, just that you guide their steps every step of the way as they choose to, show up, in their life each day. Yeah. But God, we thank you so much, and we're just so grateful for who you are and the amazing big God that we serve. We love you so much. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Winner's Circle out.
I'm dipping, it ain't a pen and read the word. And listen, that's the reason I'm winning. She gon' rep it, yes you are. If they hate, she showing love. She gon' slay and